My name is DC, and I'll be giving you another underrated scene from the movie No Man's Island. Oh, sorry, the scene is No Man's Island, where the English and the Germans fight. If you know the movie, you can pause it and try to guess the movie. All right, you guessed the movie. That is The Kingsman 2021. It is a prequel to the Kingsman 2014 movie that shows how the Kingsman was invented and started off, and also tells you a bit of the story between the Germans and the English. Alright, so in this scene in No Man's Island is the Germans and the English went to go to retrieve a certain object, or one of those things that in the movies you have to retrieve so that they help with the war and whatever. So while it's going there, the English discovered the Germans also had the same plan in the night. And as they were going there, the English did go with the intent to kill. They carried guns. But now, unfortunately, what happens is that since they're in No Man's Island, it means that if they fire a weapon, that will alarm both camps. And now if both camps are alarmed, they will get shot from both sides. So what happens is that both set of soldiers decide to leave their guns, but this is where they decide to they start using their most silent weapons, such as knives. One dude had something like, I don't know, some sort of arm fork or something, and another dude had a hammer. But if there's one thing I'm gonna appreciate from the costume designers is how the Germans looked. At that point, I think what they were trying to show is that the Germans had no soul, or they just looked as if they were not human, because even the clothes that they were wearing covered their faces. The only thing you could see was a figure described as a man, but trust me, they looked cool even though they seemed so non-human. So as they were squatting, because they were actually squatting to each other, so they were moving like this. Yeah, they were squatting. You see me squatting? That's how they were moving, because they didn't want to get spotted. When you stand high, you make yourself taller and stuff like that. Yeah, so they end up fighting each other. What I do like about this scene is the choreography, the designs of the German soldiers, and one of my favorite parts, I don't know, not really the favorite part is that it's actually a lesson. The fight is a lesson. So if those men had met under different circumstances except war, you'd find they actually get along, because they were smart enough to realize that if they used guns, they'd be discovered, and they had to use other weapons. They were smart enough to both go for that document at the same time. So it shows that these men shared similar interest. So the one thing about war is that when you put two men in a situation where they're supposed to fight for their life, fighting for their country, even though they're not the ones that started it, they would kill each other. But if they met under different circumstances, let's say for example they had met in a bar, they'll be the best of friends. It just shows that how war separates people from themselves. It makes people's enemies to themselves, which is not a good thing. So later during the scene, this is when most of the English soldiers have died, because the Germans, okay, they were both killing each other pretty brutally, but the Germans, the dude with the hammer was OP and he looked cool. Frightening, but very, very cool. So what happens is that the officer, I don't know what ranking he had, but the leader of the English team decides to use his gun. And when he uses his gun to save one of his English soldiers, he does shoot the German with the hammer. Yeah, that was pretty unfair by the English soldier, since both had agreed not to use guns. But anyway, so he shoots his gun, and then now both camps decide to shoot at each other, killing the leader and the other German soldier that was there, leaving our protagonist, who is the hero, alive to at least, try and search for that piece of information. And you people making those little Dark Age war edits, you should hope no war starts. War is very, very bad, because innocents die. Yeah, but that was my favorite scene. What I liked was the lighting, the tension that was there, because I like more grounded scenes like this. The reason, because, it's not like one of these Marvel movies where someone does something that no human could do. It just shows you it gives you an idea of the sense of brutality that was there during the war. Yeah, otherwise that scene was great, very underappreciated. I'm surprised that it has not been nominated for anything. But if you guys have your specific movie scenes that you do want to see, you could comment down below and I'll probably do one of them. Yeah, so I will see you tomorrow, or whenever I see you, when I post the next underappreciated or underrated movie scene. Maybe I'll start also doing underrated movies. So I will see you in the next one. Make sure to like and subscribe. Good night.